These are the VRS Direct Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Side gunning for a goal, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat train time. When the lights go green, we light the sky. Let's light it up. Let's light it up. Let's light it up. Let's light it up.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome into the IRWC presents Round 1 of Season 1 of the Rod Knock Cup here this evening. It's a new, light-hearted, fun Friday series brought to you by the IRacing World Challenge, as we'll be traversing the world of ovals for the very first time here in the IRWC. I'm your commentator tonight, Hamish Munro, bringing you all the action through sight and sound, and rearing and ready to go tonight for the beginning of the season here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be running with the brand new ARCA cars, the Ford Mustang, the Chevy SS and the Toyota Camry, as drivers at the moment are attempting to get their qualifying laps in prior to tonight's event. We'll have a quick look though at the season ahead with the calendar up on your screens now. Of course, we start tonight with the Charlotte 99 laps of Charlotte Motor Speedway for round 1. Then we have Martinsville next week for 140 laps before the Texas Motor Speedway event, the Longhorn 90 for round 3. Then 30 laps of the Glen for round 4 before we have 69 nice laps of Michigan, with the Langley 200 for round 6 afterwards, as then we head to Talladega for the Dega 50 for round 7 before we have the Cactus 85 of Phoenix in round 8. Atlanta Motor Speedway will then find us for 80 laps at round 9 before we end at the Toner 50 for round number 10 on the 29th of August. So for the next few months, we'll be going oval racing on a Friday night here in the IRWC. And it's going to be an absolutely cracking time. And these drivers, well, they're ready to light it up for us on the oval courses. 9 ovals, 1 road course. Of course, that road course being at Watkins Glen for the Cup circuits in round 4. But qualifying has been an interesting one for these drivers, of course, to give you a bit more background on the series and how it's running. We put it out there as a fun Friday series, so it has got a cheaper entry point than what the Porsche Cups do. For only $10 you can join the series. Sign-ups are still live. If you join the Discord for the IRacing World Challenge, you can still sign up and come and join us here on a Friday night. Unlimited fast repairs as well. Automatic cautions with the Lucky Dog rule in place as well. So it's just to be a bit of fun for the drivers to head out on track and cut some left and go real fast if they can. So this is going to be a star-studded affair for some drivers, I'm sure. We've got some big names from other portions of Australian sim racing, the likes of Blake Warboys, out on track in this series. Scott Rankin as well, known for his commentary work over at SimSpeed TV, as well as the first appearance this season of admin of the IRWC, Jack Anderson, in the field with us as well. We've also got a couple of friends, a couple of foes out there with us as the drivers head out for the warm-up session here this evening. And round 1's going to begin very, very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be an absolute blinder of a season for these drivers as they have begun their warm-up and they traverse their way round for their first sort of, not really first practice laps, but the first practice laps where we can see these cars and this track on screen for you. Of course, they've been doing practice laps. In fact, Scott Rankin did more than the race distance worth of practice laps in practice, over 100 laps for him. Of course, we're only doing the 99 tonight of Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. Of course, we'll get the overlays up and running once we're into racing conditions. We'll quickly run you through. Is it actually going to show me? No, it's not. That's very unfortunate. It's going to be rude like that. So we'll run you through the grid shortly when we get in for the proceedings. We've currently got 14 cars for tonight's race of the 19 that have signed up. So I think fairly good numbers. Of course, as I said, it's only a fun series. It's the biggest thing that's on offer is that the winner of the championship will earn a free entry into either the VRS Porsche Cup Series or the newly released GTE Championship that'll be starting on Wednesday nights in Season 4 of iRacing. So the driver who does win the title will then have the selection of which series they wish to take the free entry. They can also opt, if they wish to join both, to get half price on both series, but they must enter both. They can't just say, oh, I'll take the half price and then only enter one. So, but we'll see. We'll see who's able to overcome, who's able to stay nice and consistent. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be carnage. There's probably going to be a lot of crashes, as there often are with ovals. And with it being only a fun sort of series as well, it's, you know, people may not be necessarily willing to take themselves too seriously, and they might just be willing to bomb it in at some corners and wreck someone. But, you know, the iRacing oval regulations are in application. I mean, the drivers must stand by the driving standards of oval racing in iRacing, so they've got to live up to it. They can't just break iRacing rules. I mean, there are black flags in place for a reason. And, yeah, as I said, automatic cautions as well. So how many pace cars do we see throughout the season? Well, we'll have to wait and see. And how many do we see tonight? Well, only time will tell. Scott Rankin is just leading Aaron Smith around at the moment. Daddy Warboys is out there with us too. Mr. Blake Warboy is running around. We've also got Jordan Jiff Ferguson cutting some laps in the Camry too. Johnny McRow as well. And you saw him doing burnouts before in his old Commodore. Kyle Scaife is out there at the moment as well as Mr. Giraffe Michelson too. Aaron Cooper in the chat with us. We have got an international flavour to this league. We have got a resident of ovals in the field in Aaron Cooper saying, please don't hit me, you'll spill my beer. And then Chop in there too, tip it in and see what happens. It's exactly right, Chop. You know, it's just come have a crack, get into some battles, have some fun, have a laugh. If you get into a wreck, get the car fixed, get back out on track. You know, you're bound to get your lap back at some point with the automatic cautions and with the fact that there are unlimited fast repairs, so then drivers can wreck and still keep going along. So it's going to be a lot of fun though. It's going to be an amazing season ahead as well. Warm-up session is about to come to an end though, and the drivers will then head out for grid to begin the slow lap as they set themselves up for 99 laps of Charlotte Motor Speedway. It'll go by fairly quickly. These lap times, they'll be on the rough average of about 30 seconds, so we should be over and done with. If we were to go green the whole time, should be over and done with within around about 50 minutes. With cautions, we'll probably just be over an hour, but it should not be too long for these drivers to get out there with us here tonight as the warm-up session comes to an end and the gridding is about to begin. And all of a sudden, my overlays have decided to not be found, so we'll quickly reload those. And then hopefully, should be rearing and ready to go. So, as I said, drivers will be hoping to get themselves into having a bit of fun this evening and getting themselves out on track as well. Mr. Giraffe Michelson has put himself on pole position with good old Scott Rankin in P2 tonight. We'll have a quick look at the grid. Do have to make some adjustments to the overlays, of course, to fix this up for you, but for how it currently looks, Michelson alongside Rankin, then it's Warboys and Scaife on the top four. Cooper and Crum then for the top six, Ferguson, Harding, Daniels and Tomlin the 10. McRow and Smith in behind them with Blanchard and Anderson at the back end of the field. So it should be an interesting night of racing for these drivers as they have headed or begun heading round behind the pace car. It appears some drivers are not willing to sit behind the pace car at this stage. So we'll see how this works out for them. In the end, Mr. DeVries in the chat with us watching from bed, I expect carnage. I would agree with you there, Shells. I also expect carnage as well in the 99 laps. So that's how they're lining up in this one. And America's home for racing is about to be the IRWC's home for oval racing for the first time this series. So as they slowly traverse around behind the pace car, how much carnage is there going to be? When will be the first time we see the pace car back out on track? And can we keep it nice and clean as we await for the green flag to be dropped and for the leaders to come around to get us green flag racing? It is green flag running at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We are under green for the first time this season as drivers get away early. Who is going to survive the fast-paced carnage as they get up to speed nice and quickly through the first corners of Charlotte Motor Speedway and the roar of The ARCA cars run past for us. Michelson leading with Rankin Warboys and Scaife in behind him. And leads them round to start lap number 2. So we've gone green at least for a whole lap. As the tactics begin working on here. Warboys trying to hang on to a low line, it seems. Scaife following him along. Rankin's been caught out wide. Cooper's in there too, so could very well be in for a strategy play tonight. When do the pit stops happen as well? That's the question. How do you play your pit stop strategy across this race? When do you take tyres? When do you just take fuel? When do you take the lot? As Michelson leads them across the line, starts lap 3 of 99. So we've still got a long, long way to go. Don't you worry about that. But we are eking closer and closer. We are technically a 33rd of the way there in this race. Scaife is just struggling right now with Rankin and Cooper behind him. And you can just see how fast-paced and intense this is. Lap 4 of 99. So still 95 laps to go. It's going to be a long, long race for these drivers out on circuit tonight. Been a bit of movement in the back of the field as well. Anderson in the Volvo has managed to get past Blanchard and Smith. Ignore the fact that he has a Ford badge next to his name. He is racing for Sweden and his hometown of Stockholm as well. He's Anderson, so he's representing the Swedes well, and hopefully his season is not as complicated as a flat pack from IKEA. As McRowe, Ferguson and Daniels getting into a little bit of a tussling matchup as well. But if this is the first time you've ever seen ovals on iRacing, it's going to take the tactics of knowing when to sit in the draft, knowing when you can go for a move, and knowing when you need a bump draft with a competitor just to try and fight your way forward throughout the race, as these three are really tussling for position here of P9. They've got to be careful of Anderson. He's just sitting back there in the tow, letting himself get dragged into it. Before they know it, it could be a 4 or even a 5 car battle as Ferguson gives him the slipstream. Could the bump drafting begin now as they run up the back straight? Let's run on board with Anderson here. You see how he's trying to tip this car in, stay amongst the battle. God, the laps fly by, don't they? We're already on lap 7 of 99. As Cooper and Scaife are battling away further up as well. On board with Kyle as Aaron goes on his outside. So this battle pack is now heating up. Rankin in it, as well as Chock, Tomlin and Harding as well. They've also got Dr. Crum on the back of it too. A couple of the LCR boys. All tucked into this tight battle as Rankin trying to sneak up the inside of Scaife if he can. Maybe get a bit of a side draft. Maybe hope that Chop can give him a bit of a bump draft just to push him forward here. Ooh, bit of a blink there from, I think that might have been Harding who's having some blinking. Hopefully that sorts itself out throughout the proceedings as well. Oh, that was a big, big wiggle there from Scaife. Copped the air. Maybe a little knock-on effect as well. Got loose and just had to try and catch it as best he could, as he now gets the side draft off the wall and takes back the position off Rankin. That's a good move from him. But Rankin's right there, low line, able to put the foot down, and he's back through again. This is fantastic racing here. As here comes Tomlin, inside line as well. So these guys are going tooth and nail, to and fro, back and forth, trying to decide when it is best to push. And if Scaife isn't careful here, he may end up dropping behind all these LCR cars, because the longer that he's held out on that outside line without the draft, the easier it's going to be for them to get through. As the team play happens now, Harding looks to get a run past Tomlin on Scaife. He's all on his lonesome. He needs someone out there to give him a hand if he can. Let's have a quick look up the front at the race lead. Michelson with Warboys hot on his heels. So the top two just starting to get into their rhythm now, sitting in the toe. Not too much point for Warboys to attack Michelson at the moment. There's still 88 laps to go. We are a 10th of the way there. These guys are going to keep going on. Cooper and Rankin now in a line of stern. Harding, Crum have both gotten past Scaife. Tomlin looks to get by him as well. So two of the LCR cars have done it. Now the third wants it too, and they're hoping that the fourth in Daniels can make his way up the order as well and get onto the back of this. As Gretsch is caught on the outside line, here comes Tomlin. Great drive out of the corner. He is right next to him at the moment. Can Tomlin get past? There's his team out the background, and he's got the job on the Holden Commodore of Kyle Scaife there, now in P8 on the road. He is struggling with the oval race tactics at the moment. Still no caution yet, which is good to see. There have been some drivers in pit lane, in Ferguson and McRow it seems. I'm not sure why they came in so early, whether this is tactical or not. But they've both had a bit of minor damage about them. As the race lead is being kept nice and close at the moment. There's the gap from the leader back. So Warboys is just happy to sit there hot on the heels of Michelson at the moment. Get the toe, maybe even save a bit of fuel. Could help him in the long run, could help him even in the pit lane strategy game. That could be where the race is won tonight, is on that strategy of when you pit. Do you take advantage of cautions that are called, or do you keep yourself neat and tidy and stick to your strategy? Could be the call going forward for them. So, wow, I'm flabbergasted we've actually gone this long and we've stayed green, knowing at how tenacious this field can get from time to time. They're actually keeping themselves quite neat and tidy at the moment, as Anderson and Blanchard battle the way further back as well. Rankin and Cooper battling for P3 piece of real estate as they run round turn 1 and 2. So Rankin, who's got a fair bit of oval experience about him. So does Cooper, of course, as the resident American of this series. Be hoping he can try and get some wins for the US this season, especially seeing as every single track is in the US. Every race is his home race, so we'll see how well that can play out for him. Getting up very late in the evening is Aaron, so we appreciate him coming and racing with us and getting into the Oval Series, putting some support to it as well. So thank you so much, Aaron. Really appreciate that support from you as a driver. And if anyone out there is watching from the US in support of Aaron as well, we appreciate you joining us here tonight as well. And in fact, if you're watching and wanting to support any of the drivers in the field, let us know. We'll try and give them some good screen time, try and get them on your bandwagon for you, as Anderson and Blanchard still battling it out. Scaife into pit lane as he tries to get that car fixed up, it seems. So at the back, McRow and Ferguson are already 2 laps down, so quite interesting how that's played out. It might be that Scaife is actually out of this race. I know that he was having to leave early, so that might have been the extent of the distance that he could take tonight. Although he is still in the Discord, so he might end up staying out there. Aaron Smith, good to see Aaron out there getting some experience in a different car type as well. He'll be hoping just to pluck away and keep it nice and clean this evening. Anderson's got a bit of gap now up to Blanchard ahead of him. Then there's Daniels as well, who's battling away with the lap car of Ferguson. We've got Tomlin, Harding, Dr. Crum up in P5 already. Great effort from him. And then Cooper and now Rankin. It's about 0.3 of a second ahead of him. He's got 2.19 seconds to break down of the gap to the top two as he traverses the lap traffic here of Aaron Smith. So this is the first time these drivers are actually getting sort of approached now on the fast side of track. Of course, Ferguson and McRow have been in pits as Scaife now leaves pit lane. There's Warboys and there's Michelson. So the gap's already dropped down to below 2 seconds. So tactics beginning to play off here for Rankin as Warboys is hot on the heels of the race leader, Giraffe Michelson, in the Toyota Camry. Is Warboys going to go for a move here? Is he going to try and take the race lead on lap 23 of 99? Up the inside goes Warboys. How eager is Michelson going to be to not give him the position as he stays side by side with him through 1 and 2? So remembering, the more that these guys battle, the quicker Rankin and Cooper are going to get dragged into it. And this here is the toing and flowing, the roller coaster ride that is oval racing. How quickly things can change just by a couple of cars deciding to have a bit of a battle. And it is just, you know, you start to go side by side, you start to go back and forth. It will drag drivers back into it. And your race is not over until that checkered flag flies. So Warboys and Michelson, I mean, they have stayed side by side now for 2 laps. This is incredible stuff. As Warboys is just eked ahead here of Michelson. He's not quite willing to give it up just yet. Is the Giraffe. But they are literally trading first place. I mean, they are trading first place like school kids trading Pokemon cards. They are not willing to give it up as best they can. Lap traffic of Scaife's now coming up on them too, so he may be able to get a lap back on them if he can make his way past, if they give him some reprieve and just tuck back into line. He's got good pace in that Holden Commodore, does Scaife. Looks for it up the inside, not willing to go for it just yet on Warboys. Warboys now takes the race lead over Michelson on lap 26 of 99. So he began going for the move, I think it was on lap 23. So he it took him a couple of attempts to really settle into that move then. And now the Mustang leads the way. So Rankin and Michelson. Michelson's just dropped low. I reckon he's pitting right now. So he's going for the pit stop. Is the Giraffe. So an early stop here for Michelson comparatively to Warboys and Rankin. So maybe just trying to take a bit of strategy into it, knowing that these guys could begin to battle. That could drag him back into it here. As I said, strategy's key. So that may be a race-winning move there from Michelson if it pays off for him later off in proceedings. So Rankin now just starting to chase down Warboys as well. Cooper's about 1.7 back. So again, if these guys start to battle, that'll drag him into it. Crum, plenty of time ahead of Harding and Tomlin, who've got the lap traffic of Ferguson in behind them. Michelson has now exited pit lane. He's coming out just ahead of these guys. In behind them, in fact. He's gone a lap down, but remembering that these guys will need to pit as well, so they will lose position to the Giraffe when they come through pit road in a couple of laps time. So the strategies could be quite interesting tonight as McRowe's back in pit lane. And Ferguson is just having a bit of a play here with some of the cars left on the lead lap of Mr. Crum and Mr. Harding as he sends it up the inside in the Camry. Oh, sorry, it's Chop and Harding, I do apologise. Tomlin's further up the road as Harding is still having a blinking issue. So hopefully he doesn't get in the way of his teammate Chop. These guys have now just settled into their rhythm. Warboys Rankin at this stage continuing on their fight at the front. Bit more lap traffic there of Johnny McRowe coming out of pit lane there as well. If you want to come racing with us in the IRWC this season, we'd love to bolster this grid. Of course, get more cars out there, have a crack at racing some oval cars. Yes, it's a stacked calendar. I know there might have been some thoughts of it could be a difficult one, but it's all meant for a bit of fun. It's not meant to be a fully super serious series like the Porsche Cup or like the GTE Championship that'll be coming your way next season. This is meant to be just a bit of fun. You come out here, you have a crack, you have a laugh, and you have some banter as well. The boys are in Discord at the moment, so they're all bantering away whilst they're driving, and it is a good time on the Friday nights here in the IRWC, as I mentioned. But Warboys and Rankin, I mean, these guys want to have a crack. You know, Warboys hoping to get some extra time in some new machinery. Of course, he is well known for the supercar. Rankin's well known for oval racing at this point as well, as Daniels is in pit lane, Anderson's in pit lane. So it could be that these boys are going to be coming through pit road very shortly. And yeah, Warboys mentioned he wants to get a bit of time away from the supercar, maybe dip his toes in something different, doing some oval racing here, maybe some GT racing there. As Rankin shoots it up his inside, Warboys is happy to give it to him. I think Warboys may be pitting this lap because he maybe wants to save a little bit more fuel as they continue to trickle along. As we are officially a third of the way through this race. Warboys and Rankin in pit road. So both cars in. So where's Michelson? He's just crossing the line. He's back on the lead lap now. Crum Cooper in pit lane 2. Tomlin stayed out. Does Blanchard also come in? He does. So Tomlin now the race leader. Does need a pit stop in this race. Where will Giraffe Michelson line up in comparison to Rankin and Warboys after taking the earlier pit stop trying to undercut them? He pitted on lap, ironically, 26, his race number. Those guys went all the way to lap 33, so he's coming around the start-finish line, and he's coming out behind Rankin. He's at full pace, though. There's Warboys. Is he going to get him on the run round? He is indeed, and he's gotten him by a fair whack. Great strategy play there from Michelson. Taking the slightly, in fact, it was actually a 5-second longer pit stop than what Warboys was. And it was even longer than Rankin's as well. So perhaps, I don't know if they may have taken tyres or not. Maybe that's what the strategy is as well. When do you take the tyres? And when do you take the fuel? That is the question for them out there. Cooper is in pit lane at the moment. He is still in pit lane at the moment. It's a long pit stop. I have a feeling he may have copped a speeding in pit lane penalty if he is still sitting there. As McRowe is also about to come past. Cooper's still in. And McRowe takes the position. So did Aaron Smith. So something's happened to Cooper. I'm not sure what. His tyres are now getting done on that stop. So has he maybe done the whole kablamo? Has he done a speeding in pit lane penalty? He had to stop and wait. And is now taking tyres and fuel. Is that now what has happened to him? So Harding and Blanchard fighting away here for P7 real estate on the road tonight. They've got Anderson 2.2 seconds ahead of them. He's had a good jump on them through this pit stop, actually. This has worked out well for him during this pit stop cycle. He had a 12.27 pit stop. Oh, you ran out of fuel, Aaron. Okay, well maybe don't run out of fuel next time. Oh, hopefully we see you back out on track now. The car's, you know, you can get the car fixed. Oh, it's all good, Aaron. I mean, there are fast repairs. You know, I don't know if we're going to see a caution this week, but that's a real shame you ran out of fuel. I hope we see you at Martinsville if that's it for you tonight. Cracking effort though. Billy Mole in the chat as well. Blake forgot tyres in the stop. The 1 Series, it's a must to take them every stop. Billy, where are you out on track? You signed up. Why are you not on track tonight, man? I wanted to see some Billy Mole in a bit of a groundhog situation of going left and going fast. You've probably actually got the most NASCAR name possible in Billy Mole, and you're not out on circuit. What happened there, Billy? Come on. Got to see you on track, man. So Blanchard and Harding continuing their battle here at this stage. Rankin got now about a 0.9 second gap over Warboys. So as we just heard from Warboys teammate Billy Mole, he forgot to take the tyres on the stop. So how long is this rubber going to last? That is the question. Normally you're only supposed to use a rubber once, but Warboys trying to do it twice. And I've got my good friend Jack messaging me at the moment. I'm assuming he's real drunk because he's watching this and he's just messaged me a big old U. So shout out to you, Jacko. Hope you're enjoying the real fast, real left as we run around Charlotte Motor Speedway. Lap 42 of 99, so we're nearly halfway there. No cautions just yet. So we've actually kept it neat and tidy the majority of the way. I'm almost a little bit disappointed and disheartened. Billy ARCA, I totally understand, man. Totally understand. So, doing Scops this weekend is Billy, so he'll be here every other week. Oh, well, we look forward to seeing you next week in Martinsville. I reckon you should run an American flag, Billy. I reckon you should. We've got an actual American out there. Maybe we need to see you in the American flag out there as well. So, well, we look forward to seeing you out on track whenever you can race with us too. So, so this battle pack has now really grown. Anderson with Harding and Blanchard hot on his heels in the old Ovlov. At the moment, Sweden is being represented here in the Rod Knock Cup somehow. I'm going to assume it's going to be the first car to have its rod knocking. It is European, of course. As Harding looks to go down his inside. So Blanchard, who's right there. This looks like the hottest pack on track, actually. We've got a couple of lap cars in here. We've got the battle for P6 on the road as well. It's so hot, in fact. I've got someone knocking at my door to come and have a look at it. So, as Blanchard trying to come up the inside of Anderson. Looking to take P7 off him. Maybe the Volvo's misfiring at this stage. As McRow and Scaife not even battling for on-track. Well, it's on-track position, but not on the tower position. As Harding's now caught them in this stage as well. So as we start lap 45 of this race, we are halfway through proceedings. Giraffe Michelson leads to Scott Rankin, Daddy Warboys in P3, Dr. Crumb, Chop Tomlin, Daniel Harding, Chris Blanchard, Jack Anderson, Steve Daniels, Jeff Ferguson who's just come into pit lane, Kyle Scaife, Aaron Smith, Johnny McRow and Aaron Cooper's out of this race. We're going to take this time to thank some sponsors of the league in VRS who help support our Monday night VRS Porsche Cup Series. So a massive thank you to them for continuing to support that series. You can watch round 3 this coming Monday night at 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time of the VRS Porsche Cup Series, and we go racing at Silverstone for round 3. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be continuing to go real fast, real left, real soon. And we're back from these messages from VRS and iRacing.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. visit iracing.com.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Great to be back, ladies and gentlemen. A massive thank you once again to VRS for their support on the Monday Night VRS Porsche Cup Series. Currently, sign-ups are full for that series for the locked-in list. You can join the waiting list in our Discord. I've just put the link in the description of the stream. Come and join us. And even if you want to race in the Rod Knot Cup as well, as I said, $10 entry. We race every Friday night for the next 10 weeks, including tonight, so 9 weeks after tonight. And yeah, we look to be having some fun action as Aaron Smith has had a massive bingle there with Daniel Harding. Off the road he goes, and it's the first caution of the race, it seems. We've got a yellow flag as he tries to get that car rolling again. So it only took us 55 laps. It was a weird mistake from Smith there. Let's try and have a look at this. So he's off on the grass. Through comes Harding. He looked to turn back up again, made the contact, and bang into the wall. Big damage on that Chev of him, and I'll have to change that replay logo. So the pace car is out. Who's going to jump into pit lane? I'm going to assume everyone will jump into pit lane as they all try and slow up under the pace car. So Michelson's lead has just been drawn back in an absolute instant moment there. If you've just joined us, first caution of the race, lap 56 now of 99. 43 laps to go of Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the caution has come out for the first time at this race, so it's going to bring everyone back into it. Steve Daniels is going to get the lucky dog rule, as he is the highest situated lapped car on the field at the moment, and the front runners are coming in. Not surprised whatsoever. Typical strategy of ovals. You duck into pit lane when you can. Crumbs, sorry, is not coming in. Tomlin's not. Harding's not. Blanchard is, as is McRowe and Smith, of course. So Crum is about to take the race lead behind Anderson and Ferguson, as Daniels is now technically on the lead lap. So this may actually give lucky dog here to Anderson. Nope, there goes Daniels, so he's actually going to get it still. That's fine. So Ando's going to lead us away as the front-running lapped car. Unless he decides to come through pit road. But these other lap cars are going to need another pace car, or at least another few if they hope to get back onto the lead lap here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So I suppose now the question is, now that everyone's back together again, and we've had obviously over 50 laps of all green running, how much more chaotic can it now get? Because they've gone majority of the way. They've kept it relatively clean. I mean, to go that long without a caution is quite remarkable for at least Charlotte. So how are they now going to go? Now they're all bunched back up together again. And especially with, I mean, Michelson, Warboys, Blanchard, Rankin, I mean, they've all got the strategic advantage. Rankin has not taken tyres, it seems. He's only had a 7-second stop, so it was just a splash for fuel. As Daniels has just overshot completely the whole train as he's come round. So Crum is the race leader. Anderson, I think, is just going to come past the pace car, so I believe they're just giving away waiver rounds. Quite possibly. No, maybe not, but it is going to be double file for the restart. So Crum has now been given back the race lead. I suppose they must have given the lucky dog just to those who were ahead of the race leader. So Crum, Tomlin, Harding have all not pitted, knowing though that those who have come in could be a little bit far away from making it to the end. They lasted 33 laps on the first stint. We're more than that to go. So they're playing the game of, if we go green the whole way, those other guys are going to need another pit stop anyhow, and they're nice and close with them. So could it have been a misplay to pit under the pace car? Oh, there's a bit of toing and froing in the background for position there. Between, was that Daniels? It was Daniels and Gretsch. Scaife, sorry. Battling away, so very interesting how that can play out. When the pace car comes in, it is going to be 32 laps left to... Oh, sorry, no, not that. Completely wrong. 39 laps? 40 laps. 40 laps to go. 40 laps to go when we're back under green. And the field is away. So they enter turn one once again at Charlotte, as we run around turn 1 and 2 in North Carolina. You see there, Rankin going for a high side move. Couldn't quite get the run. Warboys hot on the heels of Tomlin and Crum here. So the battle's begun on the green flag. I think that there was Mick Rowe exiting pit road. So this battle for the race win now has really started to heat up as Michelson's under pressure from Harding. In the background, where did Scaife just go? Oh, he's on the apron, that's fine. I thought he was exiting stage left. So Michelson stays ahead of Harding for the moment. He's got some lap traffic of Ferguson in behind him here. Warboys on the low line. Is Rankin going to follow? Maybe give him a bit of bump draft here. There's some side drafting with Tomlin happening as they run up onto the back straight. Who is Rankin going to favour? Is it going to be Tomlin or is it going to be Warboys? It's neither at this stage. Smith. Has he just had another incident? He has. He's on the infield there. What is he doing down there? So, Warboys now takes the lead from Crum. Rankin looking for P2. Got to be careful. Let's Scaife the lap traffic on the low line. He tucks in. Oh, he's holding up Chop. Chop's not going to be happy. Sorry, Crum, not going to be happy with that. The lap traffic holding him up there. As Rankin has now managed to get past both of them. This is now starting to drag Michelson back into things. He's hot on this one, and Scaife's into the wall on the right-hand side. Is Scaife stay done? Here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, Anderson's coming past him as well. He's at the very back of the field now as Michelson looks to take the move on Crum. Job done for Michelson. What about Tomlin ahead of him? As they battle on through, lap 64 of 99 at Charlotte. 36 laps to go. As Harding exits pit road. Oh, Tomlin hard into the wall at 2. Big contact there for Tomlin. Got to be careful he's not carrying damage now. This is where the struggle bus begins. You stay out on old tyres, you try and battle guys with new tyres, and it just becomes pretty much impossible for you to hang with them. As Daniels is in pit road as well, so those who've pitted one time having to traverse back through pit road. Blanchard with Harding. Of course, Harding is a lap down on Blanchard at this stage. There's a bit of work for him to do as Warboys leads to Rankin. And then the Giraffe Michelson in P3. So the top 3 before the caution back into the top 3 in this race. And they've got some strategic advantage over the rest of the field. We are at the point that you could pit and get home from here. So as we run up to 3, it seems they may just be settling in for this final dash to the end of the race. These guys, have they managed to save enough fuel to get home? I mean, we're under pace car for a fair bit, but I don't know if they managed to save 10 laps worth that they would need to get back home to pit lane. As Scapes had to tow back to pits. He's now back out on the road. McRowe passed him here. There's Daniels. Ferguson as well. Anderson chasing him down. Harding in amongst this pack here. Then there's Blanchard and Tomlin and Crum, Michelson, Rankin and Warboys. And their battle for the race leaders. Dr. Crum is in the office. He's come through pit road and ready to give you your checkup. So final stop of the race here for Crum. It'll be a bit of a longer stop than those who already pitted under the pace car. I wonder if those guys at the front will take tyres. That could have been a smart play from Rankin not to take them under the pace car and instead save the tyre stop for the next stop by. Then do any of them risk not taking the tyres on the next stop? That's the question. Take the time advantage of not taking tyres and hope you can push on to the end. You'd expect if there is a pace car, then they will not, or then they will take them. If there's not, they may just stay on this set. Oh, it's getting interesting now. 30 laps of Charlotte to the end when they cross the line. And it has been an absolutely spectacular affair thus far. Tomlin in pit road as Rankin and Michelson go at it through 1. Michelson looking to get him here if he can. He's not quite close enough at this stage. There's Rankin on his outside. Oh, you can just see how tight they're getting. I mean, it is a side-by-side affair with Michelson and Rankin, but this is allowing Warboys just to run up the road a little bit now. 2 seconds is the gap, so these guys are going to start working together to get up to him if they can. It's been a real race for pace throughout this one. Of the 14 cars that started, 13 remain. It's all being led by Blake Warboys in the 63 Mustang at the front of the field. Then it's Scott Rankin, and then barely by a bee's part, it is P3 for Michelson at this stage as he looks to get this done down the inside. And, oh, you know, you think he does, and then all of a sudden he doesn't. Rankin's just able to get back on the power and get the car back up to pace. And this is how tough it can be. Rankin's comfortable sitting in the middle lane. He's comfortable hanging out there, letting it run a little bit wide, carry the speed up the hill. Well, up the hill, but, you know, up the circuit. I suppose up the berm of the turns. I mean, it's honestly, it's incredible. I've called quite a few oval races in my time, seen nearly everything happen, but to see these guys go side by side for nearly 10 laps is incredible. That they're just able to sit here, not give up an inch. Oh, it almost looked like a little bit of a slide there from Rankin, as Michelson just has to tuck back in and fight another day, because I think he's realised they're giving up time to Warboys ahead of them. 2.9 seconds is the gap, but maybe not. Maybe he just wanted the toe to get the run back on him here, but then he just hits a wall of nothingness. He's got to try and get the toe off of Smith ahead of him, the lap traffic, to get past Rankin. This is where you've now got to try and use the lap traffic to your advantage. Rankin tucks back in. He now gets the slipstream off of Michelson. So he can maybe now use this as a late dart little move. Maybe force Michelson onto the high line. Although his tyres will really be feeling it now. 25 to go at Charlotte as it now hits 24 to go as they cross the line. Rankin's in pit road, so's Blanchard. So final stops of the race for these guys. Rankin's surely got to take tyres on this stop if he can. Blanchard has. So Blanchard, fresh rubber. What about Rankin? As Anderson's also in pit road. So Rankin drops. Taking in his fuel. Can he also take tyres as well? He is taking tyres. So Rankin on the tyre change. Where's Crum? He's just coming up towards the final few corners now. Rankin's dropped. Rankin is back out. I think Crum will be a little bit too far away to get past him here. So that strategy in the end worked out well for Rankin, but where's he going to come out in all this comparatively to Michelson and Warboys as he gets the Mustang back up to pace? There's Michelson, and there's Warboys up at 1 as the pit stop cycle continues on. Anderson coming out of pit road in the Volvo. Currently 3 laps down on the leaders. Rejoins the circuit with Michelson coming past him. So as the laps tick down, it's been a tough race for these drivers here this evening. It's been a tough night on the road for them as well. I'll take this time to quickly ask you if you enjoyed what you've seen here tonight, or if you've been watching for a while through the Porsche Cup Series on the Monday nights or the Vets action on the Saturday nights and you haven't done so already. We would so appreciate it if you could hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well. There are quite a few new viewers who are not yet subscribed but have been watching with us, so we would appreciate the support as Warboys is in. If you could click that subscribe button, help support the channel, help support the series that we broadcast as well. And you know, any bit of analytics we can get would be much appreciated, whether that's by liking, getting into the chat, getting into the comments, watching from start to finish. We would so appreciate that support. It'd be an absolute blessing if you could, so thank you so much. So as Michelson leads the way, Anderson's hot on his heels here, and it looks like he's looking to go long. He's got a fair bit of gap to the cars behind him. Is he going to try and play the strategy of go long and then just take fuel? Is that going to be the play from Michelson here as Warboys looks to exit pit road? Is he going to do it ahead of Rankin? Here comes Rankin. He's got him in that stop. Great strategy play there from Rankin, and it was only a 0.1 difference between them. So a fantastic strategy. I'm not sure if you heard that then. That was my father sneezing from down the hallway. So what is left in this race for the story to be told? 18 to go. We've had 1 caution. Do we get another? I mean, it was a wild and wacky moment for it to happen for us. Thank you so much, Aaron. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support as well. And great to see you out on track tonight, this morning for you. As I said, hopefully we'll see you back out on track next Friday, racing with us at Martinsville. So now, when does Michelson come through pit road? He pitted on 56, so if he can go 33, that takes him to 89. He could possibly go a couple more, seeing as we were under pace car for about 4 laps or so. Very interesting how this could play out. I think he can maybe go to lap 91, I'm going to say. I think he can maybe go to lap 91. He's got a 36.3 second advantage over Rankin. That time is shortly or quickly getting chewed into. I don't know if he's... I don't think there's a world which he saved enough to save 10. I don't think there's any world in that, but he maybe was able to save enough for 2. Quite possibly there for Michelson. As Rankin, he's got Steve Daniels, the lap traffic in between him and P3 on the road. Like War Boys at this stage. It's been a hot battle thus far between them. Really, really good to see. As War Boys gets back past Daniels now and tucks back into behind Rankin here for P2 on the road. And you know, if you've never driven oval cars before, you understand this is not just, you know, turn real left real fast. As much as we joke about it, there are a lot of nuances about it as well. Brendan Griffiths in the chat. Great to have you here, Brendan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. There are a lot of nuances about it. Knowing when to lift, knowing when to turn in, knowing when to stick to your line, knowing when to get into a different draft train, knowing when to pass. These are all little things that play so much advantage in oval racing when you know them. It's the same thing goes for when do you come down pit road, when do you take your stop, because a little misplay in that moment, it's, you know, it's going to really up your game in terms of oval ability. Aaron out there with us as well. Of course, I was having fun with these guys up front. I just spaced my fuel as Michelson's into pit road. So race leader in. Does he take tyres on this stop, or is it only going to be the fuel? Is it going to be the Lightning McQueen strategy, or is he going to go bog standard, take tyres and hope he can chase them down with the better tyre advantage with 12 to go? Into the box he is. Oh, he slightly missed it. He was just back off the mark. That's going to cost him time. So he's still stationary. They've actually got him. They've well got him as well. So because he missed the box, that has cost him massively. And is it possible that he got a penalty too? Rounded in the chat. That's definitely making my shift fly by while listening. Well, I'm so glad. So glad, Rhiannon, as we've got another yellow flag out, and it's because of Aaron Smith again, it seems. Oh, it was a big wiggle on the main straight. And then let's watch the contact. It was only light on the wall, but the car was hurt, and the caution was thrown. Maybe we can take this time just to watch Michelson into pit road. Oh, no. I don't think he actually got it. I don't think he got it slowed up in time. I think Michelson got a penalty there for speeding in pit road. So that is a real shame for him. He was pushing hard. It was a little miscalculation on the entry. And Rankin, oh, nearly tricked him. He was looking to trick them into coming into pit road. They were not having any of it from the leader. So I suppose the beauty of it now is Michelson, I mean, he's a lap down. Daniels is going to get the lucky dog again. Even if Michelson can get past these guys, he's not going to be back on the... He's not going to be battling for the lead. In fact, I think he's actually giving up the positions here to the cars a lap ahead of him, possibly. because he's just given it up to Crum and Tomlin. So, of course, Warboys on the freshest tyres of the top two. Rankin came in on 75. Warboys came in on 79. Michelson has the freshest tyres of the lot. He came in on 87. But, of course, he's now a lap down from having to take an extra 40-odd seconds in the pit stop, thanks to speeding in pit road. The saving grace for Michelson could be if he can get a wave around via another caution. We've got 10 to go. Green, white, checkered will be in place this race as well. But we know that cautions can come out very, very quickly, especially this late in the race as well. Because drivers now, they know, and there's only 10 to go. It's now time to go balls to the wall. Have a crack at it. See what you can get. The top 6 are all on the lead lap. Any of them can win it. It's about who's going to be willing to have a send. Support there from Brendan Griffiths. Let's go Rankin, giving the support to Scotty. Aaron saying as well, that's too bad. He was having such a good race. These guys are fast. Well, it's now about to be boogity, boogity, boogity for them once again, as cliche as it sounds. Because we're about to go green flag running here at Charlotte Motor Speedway once again. So the pace car will be in this lap. Rankin and Warboys on the front row. Crum, Tomlin, the LCR duo in the top 6. Look to battle here for the race lead. Then there is Blanchard. Then there's some lap traffic, and then there's Steve Daniels at the back of the field. So he's a bit far away there from the race lead. But if there's carnage, then it could come up trumps for any one of these drivers if they manage to take advantage. So as they come around turn 3 and in towards turn 4. Brendan saying, I hope you're having a guy racing next week. I hope so too, Brendan. It'd be great to have him on track. Having some fun here on the Fridays, that's what it's all about. It's all a bit of fun, so we want to see as many drivers out there as possible. Just coming around and having a go at it. That's what we're after for the Friday nights. Pace cars in pit road, racing at Charlotte. As we go, green flag running once again. As Rankin leads towards 1 and 2. Who's going to get the jump on the restart as they run up onto the back straight? It looks to be a good start there from Rankin. Crum and Tomlin now trying to work together to get past Blake Warboys as they run it through 3 and 4. So Warboys has managed to hang on to Rankin here. Crum has gone with him as well. Tomlin, Blanchard look to be battling further back as look at how feisty the field's getting. The lap traffic all getting involved together here. And you can see Scaife just gets onto the apron, gets out of their way. Michelson may not want to get out of Blanchard's way all too quickly. He knows he's got the pace to run with these guys, but he is a lap down. Doesn't want to get involved in the battle for position as he tucks back into it this time. Scaife in pit road. 6 to go. 93 laps done and dusted here at Charlotte, North Carolina. Been an absolute belter of a race thus far. 2 cautions through the portion here. Both of them coming in the second half of the race. First half was green all the way. So Rankin leads Warboys across the line. 5 to go. Crum bit further back. Tomlin, Blanchard, your top 5 at the moment. So right on board with Warboys. Onto the back straight. Rankin's trying to get any bit of tow he can from that car at a pit lane. I think that was Kyle Scaife, it was. So he's looking to survive any which way he can here is Rankin. This here has been an absolute cracker of a race thus far. As we run it down the back straight, it'll be 3 to go across the line. Can Warboys do it? Looks to go up the inside of Rankin. And is it now going to be another side-by-side affair? We know how long Rankin and Michelson went side-by-side for. There is barely anything between them. Rankin powers it on back through to the lead. 3 to go here at Charlotte. As we run it up through 3 and 4, when can Warboys make the move if he can? He'll be looking to... Oh my God, I thought they were getting loose then off 4. I thought they were getting loose off 4. That was close. As Warboys is trying to take this lead, he's just etched a little bit ahead of Rankin here, but Rankin's powering it on the high line. It is literally less than 1/10 of a second between them down the straight. It's 2 laps to go. White flag when they cross the line this time by. It's still side-by-side action of Warboys and Rankin. 0.01, 0.02, 0.01, 0.02. It is going back and forth between the both of them. White flag at Charlotte. As we run up towards 1 and 2 here. Who can get the positioning for the final run to the start-finish line? It's Rankin to Warboys by 0.04 of a second. Warboys is trying to get some side draft off of Rankin here if he can. On the inside at 3. 0.1 of a second here. It's dropping. It's dropping. Rankin back to the race lead by barely anything up towards the line. And it's 1/10 the gap. Rankin takes the win to Warboys. Crum in P3. Blanchard in P4. Tomlin and Daniels. The last cars on the lead lap in this one. Although I think Daniels might be out of fuel. As Anderson looks to come home here in P7 with Harding, Michelson, Ferguson, McRoe, Scave, Smith and Cooper at the back of the field in an absolutely incredible race to begin the season. 0.11 of a second to the line between Rankin and Warboys. And the question will forever be after tonight, what could have been if Jack Michelson had not copped the speeding in pit lane penalty as the celebrations begin for Scott Rankin and the burnouts begin as well, right alongside. Actually, let's see, does this camera angle get this on there? Oh, only just. That's not good enough from me. Right on the Charlotte logo, Scott Rankin pulls out the burnouts as tonight's race winner. The first race winner of the season, the now championship leader as well. What a race there from Scott. Great strategy play. Warboys gave it his everything to him. And gave it his everything to battle for the race win as well. Just a little bit of rubbing. It was just a little bit of rubbing. It was nothing much. Just trying to get a bit of the side draft action happening. You know, it was good. But what a great end to that race. What a fantastic end. 99 laps, done and dusted. I think the race lasted a little over an hour. And before you know it, we are into the celebrations here for Mr. Rankin. So in the end, the finishing order for you tonight, Scott Rankin P1, Daddy Warboys P2, Dr. Crum in P3, Chris Blanchard, Chop Tomlin then for your top 5, Steve Daniels, Jack Anderson, Daniel Harding the top 8, Giraffe Michelson and Jeff Ferguson make up the top 10, Johnny McRoe, Kyle Scaife, Aaron Smith and then Aaron Cooper, the only non-finisher here this evening. Hopefully we can see more of these drivers next week at Martinsville, because that is going to be a crazy, crazy affair out on track. And I am so looking forward to it. As the the donuts, well, they've been donutted by Mr. Rankin at that point there. So we'll see, though, if any of them come to have a chat to us. I don't know if they will or not. Oh, Rankin's gone into General Chat 3, so we'll drag him down the broadcast booth. Hello, Mr. Rankin. Very solid victory for yourself, sir. That there was about as fast as my heart rate has gone ever since the last time I called oval racing, because that gap at the end was ridiculous. 0.1 of a second at the line, and you two were trading positions. That was incredible.
Blake said at the pit stop, "Oh, I forgot to take tyres. Oh no!" And I went, "You watch, there'll be a caution. You'll win this race." So little bit lucky, a little bit unlucky. Good night.
Yeah, I think I mean, I said on the broadcast, I thought it would have been quite interesting to see what could have happened if Michelson didn't get his speeding in pit lane penalty, because that obviously then took him out of the race because he was then a lap down, obviously, on you guys. But and you two were going at it tooth and nail, and I think the beauty of obviously these longer oval circuits is we get that more high speed stuff where everyone gets into their own little packs. I think next week at Martinsville, obviously a bit of a shorter track, and you messaged me about it as well. It could be quite chaotic, but I was actually surprised we didn't get more cautions tonight, to be honest with you. I think the field was relatively clean in the first half of the race. Obviously, we went green the whole way, and then it was a minor mistake that actually led to the caution. But all in all, I think it was a good night on the road for everyone involved.
Well, I think actually it was interesting because this is where the race brain comes into it, is that you sort of try and keep an eye on what everyone's doing in terms of tyres. I'm fairly certain Mickelson had already burned all 3 of his sets. So even if he hadn't sped on that last pit stop, he had no sets of tyres left to use to go after us. So I think he was in a little bit of a trouble with that. He would have had a shorter pit stop, maybe come out just ahead of us because we got a fairly hefty undercut on him. But other than that, I think he was down the water. But that's strategy, that's learning. I think Kyle Gretsch got a little bit of a learning early on in the race where he was like, oh, sweet, I'm quick. Oh, no, the tyres went off. So, that's what it's all about in NASCAR is learning what the car does, what the car doesn't do. Tyres wear in different ways. It's frustrating in a way and good in another way because I was actually having the chat with Chris Blanchard and Blake Warboys earlier about what happens with the car when you take fuel out of it. And the big problem is that because the fuel tank's over the rear, it raises that rear up, which actually digs the front into the front splitter into the ground. So you end up going from a car that's balanced with 100% fuel and maybe a touch on the loose side to a car that's actually ridiculously tight. And that's formatting. I don't like it. I don't hate it. It's one of those things that you got to do to make a league work and actually make strategy. But I think a few guys sort of learned that there's only 3 sets of tires for the race, and that's actually a really, really big factor. And thinking about what you're actually going to do with those is something that you don't get in any other style of racing. That's literally a NASCAR thing. Maybe IndyCar at times, but generally not even in the IndyCar.
Yeah, I think it's, like this series was, when we put it out, and it still is intended as a fun series for drivers just to come and have a bit of fun on a Friday, because we often found ourselves just getting into officials and having fun in the officials, and we thought, we could run this as part of our league and get more drivers involved in oval racing. But then, as you said as well, it's a good learning experience for those drivers to learn about oval racing, learn about the nuances of how you strategize and how it affects the car in certain ways, and how you can learn those certain strategies of racing in this environment as well. So I think it's, drivers, I think, will get better as the season goes on, the more they learn about the car and the more they learn about the driving style too. But then again as well, I think, from what I saw, even the drivers who were laps down, they were just having fun, just getting in the battles and getting in the train 100%. And seeing what was happening.
And that's what it's all about. I think there was actually, one of the things about NASCAR is that, you race everyone as if you're on the lead lap. It is one of the big things, because there's going to be occasions whereby, we were only a couple laps away actually before Mickelson actually pit there. Of Blake and I actually catching him, and Blake and I are on an undercut strategy, so we can't afford to waste time minding our P's and Q's getting by him. So in that situation, the leader actually gets held up by lap traffic overtaking him, and that's again just part of NASCAR. You don't come up on the leader and then give him a heap of room because you'll have a blue flag when you pass him. No, that ruins your race. Your race will end if you give him a whole bunch of room. You gotta pedal to the metal and get by him, and it's nuances. Like, there's no circuits in terms of road racing where the lap time is short enough that a pit stop puts you off the lead lap. So that occurrence only ever happens in NASCAR stuff. It only happens in NASCAR stuff whereby there's green flag pit stops and stuff as well. So that adds another little trinket to it. Fuel was tight as well tonight. We were just on 33 litres. You had to save, I think, about 200 mil to make the 33 laps in terms of fuel. So fuel was sort of tight. So making sure that you got to that 33 lap marker, which was one of the first things I found in practice. Even I learned something tonight from Aaron Cooper, just watching him in practice, was that a little bit of maintenance throttle at both ends of the racetrack actually improved the lap time at both ends by about 1/10 of a second. So, the biggest thing I always say to people is keep your eyes up no matter what race session you're in, because I've learned things from guys with 800 I rating. At the end of the day, if you're not looking for something to learn and something to improve upon in every single time you're in a race session, then that's on you. You're allowed to do that, but you're going to miss out on a lot of little nuances and key details.
I would say that as well. One thing not to learn from Aaron is how to read your fuel gauge, because he ran out of fuel in that race. So don't trust his fuel calculator. Maybe trust how he approaches a track, though. Maybe that's the thing you could learn. But Scott, absolute pleasure to speak to you once again. Pleasure to have you out on track tonight as well. Looking forward to seeing you at Martinsville next week, and congratulations on taking the first win of the season in an absolutely spectacular finish. I'm hopeful next week. I mean, I don't hope for cautions too much, but it is good just to kind of bring the field back together again. So maybe we get 3 next week. Maybe we still only get 2. I don't know. Depends how many people can survive, I guess.
Martinsville's one of those races where you average about a caution every 3 to 4 laps. So there could be 20 cautions next week. I will sit here. We might have to turn back to the old strategy of just chatting with the field in the general chat and just be like, oh, how are you feeling during the race now? We're on this pace car. Oh, we're going green again. Talk to you in 4 laps. But no, I mean, it's been a blast once again. And I'm looking forward to it, you know, just as a series where, you know, we wanted to try and offer a gateway to someone to getting into the Porsche Cup Series or the GTEs next season, but also a way to get drivers out on track and enjoying some oval racing, which, you know, I've come to love through broadcasting, and the boys have come to love through racing and the officials. So it's it's been fantastic. Yeah, if anyone has any questions or wants me to do a brief on the tracks before each and every week, or what to think about tyres, you know, feel free to shoot me a question. I love chatting strategy. Strategy and NASCAR stuff is one of the there is strategy implications in NASCAR are galaxy brain stuff. It is so deep, and the little nuances in it are so in depth, and you don't know them unless you've done multiple Bristol 500s, multiple Darlington 400, Southern 400s. You know, these are the little things, the strategy nuance, and how to manipulate a safety car to get the absolute most out of it. When you can pit, when you can't pit, what will get you a black flag, what will get you off the lead lap. Like, you've got to get out there, you've got to be amongst it, and you've got to be making mistakes before you learn those lessons. So for anyone who's looking for that information, absolutely send me a message. I'll see what I can do for you to break it down, make it a little bit easier, see how you can maximize it.
Very good. Well, best of luck next week at Martinsville, Scott. Look forward to seeing how you go, and we'll see if you can win another one for yourself, or if little old Daddy Warboys can get one up on you next time.
Yeah, Daddy Warboys. I think he's better on the brakes, so might
have to wait till the Glen then, possibly, for him to get a race win.
No, I mean, he could win anything. Like, he's good enough, and we were actually talking. Blake and I were actually chatting in the last couple laps. I was teaching him how to side draft. So he actually pulled me back down one of the straightaways. I think we come off a 2 with 2 to go. I actually taught him how to side draft, so he really pulled me back. And then I said, look, send it into 3 and 4, slide up in front of me. Like, that's legal in NASCAR. And yeah, he's too nice. So big shout out to everyone on the field that actually showed up and had some fun. And like I said, if you want questions, I want more guys up in front having fun, you know, racing each other and learning something. So
very good. Appreciate it, Scott. I'll we'll see if I'm chatting to you again next week or not.
Yeah. Anything happens at Martinsville, mate. Martinsville's a funny place.
That's right. Best of luck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that will bring an end to our race here this evening for round 1 of season 1 of the IRWC presents the Rod Knock Cup here this evening. I appreciate everybody's time joining us once again as well. It's been an absolute pleasure calling the action for you. A reminder of the calendar coming up this season. Of course, next week, 140 laps at Martinsville. As our race winner tonight, Scott Rankin, said, anyone can win at Martinsville. So it could be anyone's game. Then we have the Longhorn 90 for round 3 at Texas Motor Speedway, the 30 laps of the Glen for round 4. Then we got the Motor City 69 for round 5. Langley 200 round 6. 50 laps of Dega for round 7. Then we've got the Desert 85 of round 8 for Phoenix. Atlanta Motor Speedway for 80 laps of round 9. And then we end it all at Daytona for 50 laps in round 10. It is going to be an absolute epic affair across the next few months here in the IRWC, so you guys do not want to miss any of the action. So be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe as well, and the bell icon so you guys are notified whenever we go racing here. Next up on the docket here in the in Infinity Broadcasting, we have got the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Split 2 action for round 1 of Season 24 out at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps tomorrow night. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth, 8:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then after that, Monday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, it is round 3 of Season 2 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series out at Silverstone Historic Circuit, where more chaos could happen, more championship deciding moments could happen as well. You guys don't want to miss it. So as I said, hit the like button, the subscribe, and that bell icon too. Appreciate everybody's time there. I've been your commentator, Hamish Munro. We'll see you guys next time here on Affinity Broadcasting. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Gunning for a goal, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, wanna go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat, great time when the lights go green. We light the sky. Let's light it up.